0 hour strikes, the clock ticks down. Rise from the ashes, wear your crown. No fear, no chains, break the mold for your destiny. Fierce and
Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to the 0 hour. So tonight's special guest, LuvNLife, are here.
Hey.
And of course we have Rural 2IC
Yes.
and Ohio Valley Prepping.
Good evening, everybody.
And I'm Mark and I'm half-ass ready. So welcome again.
Word.
So again, walk around the room and hand out snacks. I hear you, Wolfgang. It's a small room tonight, but we're good to go. Hello, Mike at Hudson Valley.
Hey, Mike.
So, good evening, everyone. I'll give y'all a chance to say hello. We're going to start with Rural 2IC. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Rural 2IC, and I do the Rural Report. And I came here because I want to have fun with these two, but I'm really excited about our new people. So I'm excited for the questions tonight.
Yep. How about you, OVP?
Ohio Valley Prepping. How's everybody doing this weekend? We got some really good people up here hanging out with us, and I hope we have a good time, get some good questions.
Yes, I do too. All right. Star of the show, y'all introduce yourself.
Hi, we are Rick and Karen. We are LuvNLife, and our channel is a little bit of mixture of everything. We do emergency preparedness, medical, dental, herbal medicine, camping, travel, do-it-yourself projects, book reviews, product reviews. We're just all about loving life to the fullest and staying prepared at the same time.
All right. Well, Nick fired off our first question, and we'll just go around the room. Rural, what do you think?
Yeah, I've actually been talking about Nick, and I've been privy to see some of the pictures and whatnot. We talk a lot off camera, and to answer that one, what watt of solar panels should you have? That goes by doing solar math, right? Didn't we talk this a bug out weekend?
Yep.
It depends on what you are running and also what it is that you're charging. You can't go too big of a solar panel per your generator. So you've got to make sure you do the math on that, and then what it is you want, right? You don't want to go too little, but solar math, that's my answer.
There you go. How about you, OVP?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, it just depends on how big of a generator, how many watts you're going to be using. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of variables that go into that, so it depends on what you're doing. So,
yeah. So, LuvNLife, y'all do solar, yeah?
Yeah, we also do solar. And the thing is that if you don't have enough sunlight for your solar panels, you have to have that little backup gas generator to plug your solar battery in, so it can charge. If your house has no electricity, you just fire up that little gas generator, plug your solar generator in it, and then boom.
Especially during the winter,
the winter
or cloudy days,
all that
when the
stuff.
sun really isn't, full brightness.
So having a little backup gas generator is essential.
Yeah. So we're going to go to this question next because, we got LuvNLife here and they got a really great chance. So there you go, LuvNLife. What's your main reason for prepping? JS Genesis wants to know.
Well, hello, JS. We actually got into prepping because of COVID. Are we allowed to say that word?
Yes, you're allowed to say it on my channel.
2020.
Okay, yeah, 2020. before then we were like normie of the normies. Okay. We just like went grocery shopping like week to week. And what happened was we went grocery shopping on a Saturday, and Rick was just like, we were going down the toilet paper aisle, and which was stocked full on Saturday. And he said, "Do we have enough toilet paper?" And I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "We got like 2 or 3 rolls left. That'll last us till next week." Well, by that Tuesday, I had called him because the ladies at work were like, "Everyone's out of toilet paper. There's no toilet paper going around, blah, blah, blah." And we're just like, so he hit like 5 or 6 stores, could not find any toilet paper from Saturday to Tuesday.
Yeah, and Karen called me and said, the ladies at work are saying there's no toilet paper. Why don't you go check? So I went to Walmart. I went to Price Chopper. I went to Hannaford. By the time I hit the 5th store, I started getting anxiety because I'm like, how come there's no toilet paper? And then I started thinking, all right, what's going to be next? And so that was my whole thinking. If everybody's taking toilet paper, what's everybody going to take next? And then our whole life just turned upside down in a good way.
Yeah.
You know,
because it was funny because we've watched like like those prepping shows, that make the preppers look all crazy, and
right.
And so we've always been turned off by that. And it was funny because, like he said, the anxiety kind of hit, and he looked up prepper channels on YouTube, and the Angry Prepper was the first one that came up on our screen.
Yeah.
And he listened to the video, and then when I got home, he was like, "You got to listen to this guy. He totally makes sense." And I'm like, "What?" And he's like, he calls himself the Angry Prepper. And I was kind of like, really? We ran out of toilet paper, and you're gonna start watching preppers? But he's like, "No, he really makes sense." And so I watched it, and it was like a reality slap to the face. I mean, he made perfect sense. And we just did a full 180, and we started prepping right from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they keep popping. That's 2 people want to know how you suggest to sterilize your dental tools at home. We've got the questions are popping for you guys. So
hang on. I want, if you are willing, all 3 of us to answer, and then see what her face is to how we would do it.
Yeah. Well, I would boil them. Okay. That's what I would do. But I also think a pressure cooker would probably be the way to do it. But Rural?
Yeah, I was thinking of boil, or worst case scenario, maybe something like peroxide, or even really if you had just, the drinking alcohol, if you had a little bottle of bourbon, something's probably better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
How about you,
I was thinking alcohol. Yeah, that's what.
Vodka.
Well, maybe not vodka, but yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
But you can, the pressure cooker and is the best boiling, and you can boil and add a little bit of bleach as well if you wanted to.
Okay.
But yeah, the alcohol and pressure cooking, boiling, any of that is really good. Yeah, I mean, an autoclave would be awesome, but those are very expensive.
Yeah, well, I hear you. So
I think the Everclear is to drink before the dental work.
Well, that's a dual purpose tool right there. So,
Yeah, that'll cover both. Yeah.
And then you can put them in like the sterile packaging, which you can get off of Amazon. Any kind of like sterile packaging, and then seal it after you boil it and dry it. And then that way, all you do when you need it is you rip it open, and it's already sterile.
Never thought of that.
And oral health is very vital. Not too many people take care of their oral health. They think, well, if I take some vitamins and I exercise, this and that, but then they're drinking, 4 Mountain Dews a day, and they're getting cavities, and oral health during a shift situation, it'll kill you.
It's
if you don't know how to take care of a bad tooth.
I worked for an oral surgeon for 11 years, and I mean, people do have a genuine fear of the dentist and oral surgery. But I mean, you can hate us all you want, but you're going to need us one day, so you might as well just go for your cleanings, twice a year, and just keep up on it,
Floss, brush your teeth,
Yeah.
stay away from sugary drinks, things like that. Yeah.
Oh, can I do follow-up question?
Yep.
In SHTF, do you think that maybe dental would go down, like the cavities and things, because of what we eat? You're not going to be eating all of that. You're actually going to probably be eating a lot of healthier foods and things.
Yes,
Yeah,
it could
definitely.
be. Because, I mean, once you run out of soda and candy and all that crap, it could get better.
I don't know. Twinkies last forever, so I don't know.
Yeah. So LMDMT, I've lost the comment now. They want to know what kind of wattage your hydroponic setup uses.
Yeah, that's a plug-in. It's not solar at all.
Right. So do you know what kind of wattage that pump uses?
I don't remember.
Again, look, solar, y'all. We'll hit this real quick and move on, because we beat this up a lot. But you have to do the math, okay? So whatever you want to run on your gas, solar, don't matter the fuel, on your generator, on your off-grid system, you have to do the math. You have to understand what kind of wattage it uses, what kind of startup wattage it needs, and what kind of wattage you're capable of producing.
Mm-hmm.
And if those two equations work into that circle, you can run this. Okay. Now, if you have to not run something else to run this, but you have to do the math. Okay, have to do the math. But anyway.
We actually had a power outage here in our town a couple months ago, and it was out for like 9 hours. Mm-hmm. So it was the first time that we really tested one of our generators, and we ran our box freezer, we ran our refrigerator, and then
just for fun,
we were doing that. And
no, we plugged in the TV and the
Xbox. So and then after that, I plugged in the TV and the Xbox so I could play some video games, see how much it pulled. And man, it was amazing how much that that power battery was charging everything and keeping things running. Mm-hmm. But then again, it was only for about 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah, it's because we sucked the battery, down pretty good and stuff. But I mean, obviously in a real shift situation, we're not going to be plugging in the TV and video games, but just for fun, we were like, let's plug this in.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Give it a good test. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I bought the whole house solar generator, I, did a lot of math, just trying to do a lot of math. But yeah, what Chance is saying there, the solar math, well, the generator math, we'll call it generator math, because it doesn't matter if you're solar, gas, whatever you're doing, diesel.
Right.
But LMDMT, she always asks some good questions. So again, no matter what you're doing, if it's plug in or whatever, you just have to read on the box on how much wattage it uses. So yeah, but I hope that helped you out, LMDMT.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I have a absolutely not prepping question. I just LuvNLife, you guys just so are having the best time this summer. Mm-hmm. I mean, how many different places have you camped this summer?
Oh my goodness! It has to be at least a dozen. We get out what we do is we always check the weather ahead of time, 7 days in advance. And if the weather's going to be good, we're going camping. And we're going to find out.
Or somewhere.
Or somewhere. We're going to go somewhere. and sometimes we do a cabin, sometimes we do tenting, sometimes we'll do a hotel and just visit the sites of the town.
Mhm.
But we always prepare ahead of time, knowing what the weather's going to be, so that
Right.
way we don't have an awful time when we're there.
Right.
You know, and so during spring, summer, and fall, every other weekend, or hopefully every weekend, we can just do that, because we have a lot of like vacation time at our work for both of us. So we don't take like a whole week off. We'll just take 3-day weekends, some 4-day weekends, or sometimes we'll leave like on a Friday
At
at
noon.
noon, and then we'll be gone all weekend and come back to work on Monday. So we don't do a whole like vacation thing like most people do. They'll go on a cruise or they'll fly somewhere and things like
And
that.
use up all their vacation at once.
Yeah, and what we want to do, what we love to do, is we want to see different areas where we live within the tri-states that we live next to, like New York, Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
Ohio, Maine,
Mhm.
Vermont. And we just want to hit all those spots and meet different people, see where they're at. And that's what makes life fun. Because especially at campsites, a lot of people who don't camp a lot don't understand that everybody at campsites, whether they're in RVs, tents, or cabins, 95% of them are on the same page. They love America. They got the American flags out there. They're wearing American t-shirts. They're having fun. You can go to every campsite and everybody's like, hey, you want something to eat? You want something to drink? And it's like a family.
And that's what we're kind of trying to do through our channel, is encouraging people to get out there. You don't have to have a lot of money to
Yeah.
do something fun. I mean, you can go camping, hiking, you can visit fun museums,
Yeah.
you can go to the zoo, have a picnic at the beach, you know, go out for an ice cream with a friend or a family member, you know, or have some coffee. I mean, we just need to learn to laugh again.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everything is like always doom and gloom and oh my gosh, it's the end of the world and this and that. And we just refuse to live in fear, and you just shouldn't. And to Kane Corso's question about what was the most stressful about our 180 turn, I would say we didn't panic or fear. Like when we saw the Angry Peppers video and we started binge watching his channel and taking notes and everything, it was more of a healthy fear that was instilled in us.
Right.
And so we did stress out a little bit, like, are we going to get like our food in time? Because we had a trip saved up to go back to Antigua, and we had about, you know, 3,000 set aside. And so we were able to say, you know what, forget Antigua. We're going to like start buying preps and everything. So I think it was just like, are we going to get everything on time? Is the world going to like, you know, collapse? And then when I was trying to like put together like herbal remedies and everything, I had to like really look into and research and study out, you know, different herbs and everything. And that was, you know, pretty stressful and difficult, just kind of knowing what everything is for, and, you know, and how dangerous it could be, or, you know, it's just, it was a lot, but we had fun with it.
Yeah, we did. It was an adventure.
Yeah. It was
And
a
that's
prepping
what-
adventure.
Yeah, we treated it like an adventure that was going to keep us alive. In case
What stresses you out the most, Rule, about prepping?
I would have to say it is the people that go through life with the attitude of fly by the seat of their pants. The people that it's not going to happen to me. I watched it on the news, but it's never going to happen to my area. I'm never going to have a hurricane in North Carolina. You know, this stuff just doesn't happen. And like what they were saying, normal people, I'm going to use that in quotations,
Normal.
3 rolls of toilet paper and, you know, a half a jug of milk and stuff. That's normal. That's what we have, and that's everyday life.
It's normal for us.
Yeah. No, it didn't work well for anybody down here. I can promise you that. So.
Right.
OVP, what stresses you about your prepping journey, dude?
It's just the people that are kind of like what Jason was saying, are just blind. You know, even we were talking about the whole Charlie 19 thing and what I call the great toilet paper apocalypse. I mean, come on. I mean, that's what everybody needed. Really?
Yes.
That's what I was so confused about. I was like, is this a pooping disease? Like, what's
right, exactly. Yeah, like, I mean, you can't eat. I mean, I suppose you could eat it, but I don't know how nutritional it's going to be. Like, there are far more things that you need other than to wipe your rear end. You can find other things. I mean, you know, it's just, and it just makes you go, oh, you know, it's frustrating, I would say, more than anything else. Is you want to know, shouldn't you worry about food or some extra water or something like, you know, like, no, we need toilet paper. And I'm like,
and actually I was talking to at that time back in 2020, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and she's from Bosnia, and I was telling her how like, and we were pretty close, and so I was like, yeah, we're kind of like prepping and getting ready, and you know, and I'm like, does your family prep? And she's like, Karen. She's like, I came from Bosnia with, you know, she goes, I went through the Bosnian War, and she's like, she goes, I'm not trying to be mean, but you Americans would have no idea how to survive a war. She's like, wow, everybody was out buying toilet paper. She's like, our Bosnian community here was buying flour, salt, sugar, rice, beans. She's just like, you know, there are 1,000 different ways that you can wipe your rear end. She's like, that is the least of your worries, you know.
And you're absolutely right. I worked with a lot of people from Bosnia,
and I mean, she was sharing some of the stories, and I mean, we were sitting there, we were both crying. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I just couldn't imagine it.
Yeah, but that's it's stress. I think probably for me, I stress out more worrying about trying to save everybody, you know, and it's just not doable, right? It's just not doable. And I mean, I got people I love that are going to perish. It's not doable because they're not ready, and I can't get them ready. So, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, that stresses me out a lot. But, and I like, wait a minute. Hold on. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Yeah, there you go, Chance. I again, there was some comfort in it, but it, you know, for me, the TP thing was you know, look, when my wife and I go to wherever we go to purchase our supplies, I mean, I see them. There's one little section of single rolls of toilet paper. Every time I buy toilet paper, it's like at least 10 rolls. Right. You know, I don't understand how the hell you're out of toilet paper in a day and a half, but again, you know, I don't know. Again, but you know, we were talking, and that's one of the reasons we want more females on our show, is because females have a different way of looking at prepping and different needs than men do, right? Yep. And it's one of the reasons we want more ladies on the show. And any of y'all in the chat right now that are female and want to come on the show and give us your 2 cents, because I don't know what it's like to be a woman. Okay, I don't identify that way. I don't know.
Well, backstage, we were all talking about when Grace came into the chat, and we were like, we need to have her on the live chat, but she has to have Merle and Ricky Bobby on with her.
Oh, definitely, yes. And I agree. Grace is fully aware that she has to bring Merle when she comes.
Yes.
Oh, Nick
I
said
love
Vanessa.
Merle.
Oh, we need to get Vanessa
Everybody
there too. Yeah. Vision, good to see you.
Hey, Vision.
Yeah. Hello, Trent. Thank you for coming by, buddy. But and Katrina, I would love to have you on my show.
Yeah.
I know you're a lady, and I do it. And you know something about what I like about almost without exception, all of the females who come on that I see in the chat, that I see in their videos, every one of them is a positive, friendly influence on your life. It's just fun to watch them cooking with love, or canning with love, or gardening with their love. It's so nice to see that. And you know, we don't get it. We were talking about that. We don't get enough of that in our prepping community. But
Right.
anyway, I'll leave that alone. But I would love for Katrina to come on our show. That would tickle me to death.
There's actually two scriptures, if you don't mind, that I'd like to share that kind of represents our channel.
Go, girl.
Because it's on our, we list them on our opening intro. And the first one is Ecclesiastes 3:12 through 13. And it says, "There is nothing better than to be happy and enjoy ourselves as long as we can. And people should eat and drink and enjoy the fruits of their labor, for these are gifts from God."
Gifts from God.
And the takeaway from that is, while much of life is outside of our control, we can still choose to find joy and do good,
Yes.
and appreciate the simple things that God gives us by living fully in the present moment.
Yes.
And that's just kind of like the fun part of our channel that we, like to show. And then on the preparedness end is Proverbs 22:3, which says, "A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences." And the takeaway from that is that if you're wise, you will recognize warning signs and think ahead and take protective action. If you're a foolish person and you're just kind of willy-nilly going through life, you're going to ignore the signs, act and react without thinking, or trust blindly, that the government is going to take care of you, and your lack of caution is going to lead to a lot of pain.
Yep.
If you trust blindly that the government's going to take care of you, boy, have you not been paying attention?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
That's
again,
a passing thought. You haven't been paying attention.
And look, the Bible, whether it's controversial to you or not, the Bible has so much advice and so many ways to make yourself feel better. My son was reading scripture before the church security videos.
Yeah.
And I mean, God flat out tells us all through the Old Testament and the New Testament to make preparations.
Yeah.
Yes.
For bad times. All the parables, Jesus had dozens of parables about preparing yourself for bad times.
The Bible is a prepping book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I see
It
way
certainly
too
is.
many. I see way too many people on some of these channels talking about, "Well, I don't have to worry about it. God's going to take care of me." Well, you better worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
He gives, Proverbs is the book of wisdom. He's giving us the wisdom and the knowledge that we need. And it's, are you going to take it? Because if you're not,
Are you going to use it?
yeah.
right.
And I've seen those types of people. I can just sit back because God will do it. And I'm like, that goes back to that. He provides you the stuff. You have to do it. I can take the horse to water,
right?
But the water's not jumping in the horse's mouth, right? You have to take the stuff and do it.
Yeah.
You have to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, again, the Bible is full of God telling people to be proactive And then they don't want to be proactive, so he has to give them the old kick in the shins.
Yeah.
Right.
And then things work out, right? Noah's a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
And,
He's like
but-
the first prepper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. And the Bible's continually telling us, God says he's here for me, but he also tells me to help myself.
Yes.
Right.
And empowers me to do so. Empowers me to take care of myself. So
If you can't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of others?
Right.
Yes. But
And that's the beautiful part of a book is we all can read the same scripture and have 5 different interpretations because it's going to be what it means to you.
right.
You read the little parable about the 2 fishes and the loaf of bread and feeding the masses. I mean, for me, that's use what you got. Look, yeah, it's a crappy hand, but I got to figure it out. How do I take what I have and get the job done?
Right.
Yeah. I like what J-Man said there.
Yeah.
God makes sure the worms come to the top every once in a while, but he don't throw them at the birds. So yeah.
Right.
That's
But,
perfect. Yeah.
TMT's in the building.
Yeah, the Muffin Man.
Yeah.
So, Ohio.
Yeah.
What was your eye-opening moment to start prepping?
Well, I mean, we've always kind of been preppers before it was a thing. And it was the way we grew up. My wife's family were farmers, and my family were farmers, and canning and things like that were just things that we did. It wasn't necessarily prepping back then. It was just what you did. And
Right.
we had 5 kids. They're all grown and out of the house now, but so we always made sure we had plenty of food and water and things like that on hand. So I don't think I think we kind of eased our way into it over a few decades, to where we became, and I was always kind of an outdoor person. So, all this like survival, bug out bags, things like that were just things that I kind of already did, and so I don't really think we had an eye-opening moment where we went, hey, wow, we need to. Now, when the whole COVID thing hit, we kind of maybe stepped it up a little bit, because we thought, okay, wait, this could get bad. And we actually started that about a year before it actually got here, because when my wife was watching the news and seeing all the things happening over in China, and she said, that's coming our way. And I said, okay. And she was right. So we kind of stocked up before the crazy got to us, and but like I said, I don't really think we had like that light bulb moment where we went, oh, hey, we got to, start getting ready.
We had that light bulb moment.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people did. A lot of people did.
A lot of folks did.
Just the way we were raised ourselves,
Mhm.
if you weren't raised like that, then yeah, it was a whole different
No.
story.
Right.
But like I said,
Right.
I remember being a kid out sitting snapping beans on the back porch and shucking corn. I mean, this is just what we grew up doing. So
And
I wish I grew up that way.
yeah,
we
so it
love
wasn't like a big change. It was just kind of something that was normal, and it's still normal in this area. It's pretty, like I said, I live in town, but any direction outside of town is all farmland, and they still can, and they still do these things. And it's just normal, it's not normal other places, but if you're in a rural area, farming area, stuff like that just goes on. They don't consider themselves preppers, although a lot of them have generators and they've got, canning cellars and things like that. So if something happened, they would be okay for quite a long time, even though they're not really consider themselves preppers, So, but it's just the area I live in. So,
And the one benefit that coming into the game late, like we did, was all these prepping channels that we follow. You guys, Angry Prepper, Hudson Valley Vision. I mean, everybody. You guys kind of laid out the whole foundation for us on like what the best gear is to buy, stay away from this gear, buy this freeze-dried food. I mean, so all the mistakes that you guys made, we didn't have to make those mistakes. So you guys kind of did like the work for us and for future preppers.
Yeah, build the foundation.
Yeah, build the foundation,
boom.
and it helped us out a lot. And we absolutely love our prepping
It saved us a lot of time and trial.
Yeah.
Trial and error.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all had our trial and error.
I mean, granted, we still have a lot to learn, but I mean, just following everybody on in this prepping community, everybody's amazing.
It's been
been an inspiration, really.
Yeah. I know for me, Hurricane Katrina was a real eye opener for me. Not only with the fact that I needed to prep more. I don't even think we called it prepping. I needed to stock more.
Yeah.
But when I saw what happened with the local government coming in and trying to take people's guns, and it just increased my distrust of government, so that I went even farther out of my comfort zone so that I didn't have to bank on anybody coming to save me. And, you know, Hurricane Helene, well, the blizzard of 93, then Hurricane Hugo, Hurricane Helene kind of pounded it in for me. It just really pounded it in. And yeah, I was, Hurricane Katrina was a real eye opener for me. Not just the disaster that happened, which was awful, terrible. The people who had 3, 4, 5 days warning that a Category 5 hurricane was coming to New Orleans, and the Army Corps of Engineers said, we're not guaranteeing anything after Category 3. And they still didn't get on a car and get the heck out of New Orleans. But the buses, the videos of the city buses underwater that could have hauled how many people, each one, to a safe location. And then the absolute mass hysteria that happened to the folks that were left there. And look, no, not necessarily fault of their own, other than not getting out when they had the chance, but no one came to help them.
Right.
And we all know nobody's coming to help you, right? We know that. They can tell you 3 days all they want to. It may be 3 weeks. Look, it's 11 months here in Western North Carolina. 11 months. We're very quickly approaching 1 year. And there's still people who need help here, right? So, again, the prepping thing, and then COVID was another butt kicker, not trusting anyone in authority.
Yeah.
You know, and look, I am what I am, but you didn't matter if you had an R or a D after your name. They were all spewing bull poopy.
Yes.
They were all spewing bull poopy.
Oh, yeah.
They were all firmly convinced that you and I needed to be completely terrified, and they were the only folks that could fish our ass out of the fire.
The world shut down overnight.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It was nuts.
Yeah. But again, I don't want to preach my mistrust of the government. I just have a mistrust of the government, and well-founded, not well-founded, my perception is my reality, right? That's the TP. That's why.
Well,
exactly right.
The thing is, what you're saying is every government, every empire has fallen throughout history. America is not immune to it.
No, they're not.
America is going to fall. I mean, look at us. Consumer debt is at an all-time high. Government debt is at $37 trillion.
Yep.
And we think that America is okay. It's not.
No.
The whole thing is a disaster. You can't reverse it. No matter what you do, you could be. I mean, Trump could do the best he can do with tariffs and stuff like that, but you can't reverse all this debt that the government and people are in.
Yeah.
And,
And
it's,
so-
it's all by design as well.
Yeah.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it is all by design. And it, like we were talking about earlier, God has always given us a heads up. So you could look in the book of Daniel, you could look in the book of Revelation, and he already tells us there's going to be a one world government. There's going to be a one person that rules the world, and he's going to make everything okay. And then after that, it's going to be chaos. And we know one day Jesus is going to come back after that 7 years. But in the meantime, we have to live through this and be prepared.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so that's what we have to do. But we have a community like us, and we have to speak that truth out to other people to help them be prepared also.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, we have the instruction booklet. So, but I do want to make a comment to Grace about what she put up there. Yeah, there are lots of folks doing stuff like that, Grace.
Yeah.
But so the local governments won't allow them to put the tiny homes on their property because of permitting issues. So again, we have government in the way of good people trying to do good things. And I damn sure don't want this to go down that rabbit hole all night
But it could.
it will. And man, it really gets my blood boiling. But
Yeah, because that's like the dumbest thing ever. I mean, really, you'd rather these people live in tents than put a little tiny home up for them.
Again, as long as they're living in as long as they're living in a tent or subject to you for rent money at a hotel, they're subject to the government. See, they're subjects.
Yeah, we're going to end up all getting fired up.
Probably. Yeah, and I didn't mean for that to happen.
Well,
but but it's happening, and y'all seen it. Look, y'all seen it while it was happening. We couldn't see it here. We had no internet. Y'all were looking at it on YouTube live while it was happening.
we were.
We couldn't get a half a mile down the driveway because trees were blocking every major road down here. But it was a month later before we saw what was happening in real time down here. And it was a mess. But anyway, so but we're definitely going down that rabbit hole. I'm looking at the chat. It's definitely time to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I know.
But I dig it. I dig it. It's a hot spot.
Yeah, you could go down that whole rabbit hole because it's like, oh, well, I own my land, I own my house, but you really don't.
Right.
Because
Really
if you don't pay taxes, if you don't pay the property tax on it, the government comes in, they take it right from you, which is crazy. And it's sad, because you really don't own anything. But unless you can actually hold it in your hand.
Right.
Or they're going to have to fight you for it.
Bada bing.
Yeah, and something's going to have to give soon. I don't know what, but yeah, we can't keep going the way we're going. People can't afford to live anymore. I mean, grocery prices, they were saying grocery prices are going to go up again. How much more can they go up? Before we start eating each other or something. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, the housing prices, even in my little area, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Places
it's tough. It's tough. It's tough all over.
Yeah.
But I just I just still feel like if you're willing to work your way out of it, you can. America still gives you the opportunity to work your way out of it.
Yes.
I love our country.
Yeah.
I love what we stand for. But at the end of the day, you have to get up and go to work every day. You know, it's just part of the game. And I was never promised anything other than that. You know, my dad told me that when I was a young man. Look, my father didn't read or write. He only had one eye, and he had millions of dollars passed through his hands. My father but he worked night and day. He was an amazing man. But yeah, you know, but he worked hard. He was a very hardworking man. And he was terribly intelligent. He just couldn't read and write. But I hear you, Rescue.
Yeah.
But again, so let's get back to prepping. If we don't, we're going to be.
We got off on a tangent. We did.
You know, and again, I understand why but you know, I don't know how many of y'all have watched LuvNLife's latest video, but they had a really cool camp light that we were talking about backstage before we go. But what was the name of the company that made the camp light, y'all?
It's called Ogery, Ogery. And yeah, their camping lamp, and they sent us a camping fan that we did videos on. And yeah, their products are really good. I mean, we're really happy with the lamp. You can use it for, you know, anything, camping, emergency preparedness. We'll be doing, you know, a couple other videos on it as well.
But what's the hardest thing for y'all to prep? How about that? What's the hardest thing for you to prep, OVP?
You mean like the hardest thing to get a hold of? Or I would say, I don't know, antibiotics. It's hard to find antibiotics.
Yeah.
They aren't really expensive. Now, I have some. We actually just got a shipment in last week, but you got to kind of look around. They're getting harder to find. And
how about the fish mocks? Is that hard to find too?
You know, it depends on what state you're in, because a lot of states are not allowing the sale of it without a prescription anymore, like they used to. And Ohio is one of them, actually. So I used to be able to go down. There was like a feed store, you know, animal store. I mean, you know, farmland, right? So, and you could go get it there, and you can't get it anymore. Now, I ordered some from someplace else. Actually, came in last week, but it's hard to get anyway. It's not as readily available as it used to be. So that's something that I try to make sure I get as much of it as I can, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get any more. So
yeah.
For natural antibiotics, you can check out Dr. Christopher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a herbalist, and he has like natural antibiotics for like lungs and you know, bronchial issues, and then just full like amoxicillin type that you can actually purchase off the website or like on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. How about you, Rural? What's the hardest part of your prepping?
Instead of tangible, regret. It's the whole thing of, did I, do this correctly? Did I save as many as I could? Did I give up on somebody too quickly? And then my own thing. Everybody makes fun of me for it, and it's okay. I'm going out in an SHTF situation trying to save a kid. It's going to be an ambush. It's going to be something. It's going to be a little 10-year-old that's going to RPG me, whatever. But I mean, that's mine, is the mental aspect of regret.
Yeah. But I'm not putting that up. No, man. No, the hardest part for me is the perpetual prepping, the preparing my garden and keeping the seeds and moving so that I don't have to bank on getting stuff from the store. It's turned into an obsession in my mind, and it's also turned into a lot of hard work for my hands. And but it's I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot, especially watching a lot of the folks in the chat. I mean, there are several people who have helped me out a ton in the chat, but yeah, that's been the hardest thing for me to do. But what about y'all, LuvNLife?
Well, I want to give everybody a heads up. And if you have a Walgreens in your town, go visit every Walgreens that you can hit, because they have so many clearance sales going on
medicines,
with
vitamins.
medicines, vitamins, stuff like knee wraps, calf wraps, arm wraps, and you'll see these discounts. Like they'll be like, used to charge $30, you get them for $7.
Right.
So you have to just go to these Walgreens and look at these clearance sales.
And they're not expired. They don't expire for a few years.
Yeah, they don't expire for 2 to 3 years. So go to these Walgreens, everybody, and look at the clearance sales that these Walgreens are doing, because you're going to find some amazing stuff that you could put in your preps. And everybody talks about food, rice, water, this and that, but you have to have, cough syrup, cough drops, things like that. Anything that deals with medical, you have to have in your prep.
And I think like the hardest thing for getting back to the question about prepping, I think for quite a few people, but I think for us too, is like having that mental toughness. And we all have an idea of how we would like react in a situation
Or respond.
But we're not under stress or pressure.
Right.
You know? So when like that stress and pressure hits, will you be able to react like you thought you were going to react, or do what you need to do? And I think just practicing mental toughness and reading books on it and putting yourself, I think one of the channels, I want to say it might have been Angry Prepper, where he took a class that it put him in like a really difficult situation, to where it like stressed his mental and physical capacity. And I forget what kind of like, class it was, or if it was something to do with the fire department or whatever, but just, take emergency preparedness classes, CPR and stop the bleed and anything that you can learn so you can be better prepared and be, mentally tough during a stressful situation.
Yeah, and I think you're right. That's going to be a big one, because unless you've been maybe military or work in a hospital, EMT, fire department, like Anchor Prepper's a fireman, so he's seen things like that. If you haven't seen
a dead body or a burnt body,
or if you haven't had bullets whizzing past your head, that's something that's hard to get used to.
Mm-hmm.
Now I wasn't in the military, but I worked in the casino industry, which is, you'd be surprised how much alike they are. I've seen people get shot and stabbed and bludgeoned and just die of heart attacks and what. I mean, I could tell you stories for days. We're not going to go down that road either. But so if you've never seen anything like that, the first time you see it, I don't care how much you think you've prepared yourself for it, you haven't.
Right. And even like, if you're like a person that can't handle smells, I mean, have you ever smelled a dead body?
Yeah.
It's who was screaming?
Somebody outside. I don't know what's
going on. Okay. That was funny.
I think it was the neighbor's kids.
But yeah, I like what LMDMT's asking here. I don't know if anybody here is qualified, but because that's pretty complicated. The antibody resistant baddies, that's highly antibiotic resistant stuff that we have going around now. I mean, most antibiotics are based on natural remedies anyway. So,
Right.
but that's a tough question, LMDMT.
Yeah, good one. I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I will. Yeah, I'm going to check that out because never really thought about it. Again, in a true shift, it's prognosis is bad anyway. I mean, it just infection rates and the fact that you can't get to a true trauma center. But again, I know a lot of people get these super bugs at the trauma center, right? Yeah. So the fact that you're not going to one might be beneficial. I don't know. Just say it. I'm just saying. But anyway, we're getting down to the nubbins here, boys and girls.
All right.
So I will give everyone a chance to give out their final thought, and then we'll let LuvNLife go last, and we'll get the heck out of here and plan on next Sunday. So how about you, Roy? What's your final thoughts for the night?
Actually, I want to tell real quick on our last training that we did. They came up with a great one of doing a video. It's like 5 minutes long, and there's a test at it. So it's visual and auditory. There's like 20 questions. You have to really pay attention. But the leader that was putting this on would drop a book or blow a whistle or turn a flashlight to get you to lose focus and different things. And you really find out how you react. You think that you're, the Billy bad guy. Have a book drop right behind you and you don't realize, and watch what your reaction is. So get out there, be creative, do the stuff so that way you're more prepared.
I like it. How about you, OVP?
Just keep doing what you're doing, guys. I mean, the world's a dumpster fire right now, and who knows what's going to happen next. I mean, it seems like every day something new is going on. These shootings and stabbings and things like that are getting way out of control here in the last month or so. So keep your head on a swivel, do your situational awareness, pay attention. Just keep prepping, guys, because I don't know I think we all have this feeling that something's coming. We don't know what, because there's so many different things going on. Who knows which one's going to be the thing that blows up in our face, but just keep getting ready. Like I say in my videos, don't wait for SHTF because it ain't going to wait for you. So
right on.
Ready for whatever.
Right. Rick and Karen?
Well, this is more of an encouragement for you guys and for everybody in the chat and for those that do, prepping videos is give yourself permission to relax and have fun. Disconnect from all the noise and the distractions, and so you can reconnect with things and people that matter. It just seems like a lot of channels, you can kind of feel that, they're getting a little like burnt out, and anxiety because there are a lot of channels that put a lot of time and money and effort and energy into their live streams and videos. And it's appreciated, definitely, because we all learn a lot. But give yourself permission to take a break. If you feel overwhelmed and you're used to putting out live stream after live stream or video after video, put a little post up and say, you know what, I'm going to take a break for a week, or maybe even, every other week or even a month. You need to stay healthy mentally and just kind of disconnect and stop being glued to the news and the phone and YouTube. You're not going to miss out on anything. There's always going to be somebody, whether you're at work or at the grocery store or at the beach, somebody is going to be glued to their phone. Mm-hmm. So, if something major happens, you're going to hear the panic, you're going to hear the talk, you're going to hear the chatter, and then you're not going to panic because you're ready and you just got to get from point A to point B. But learn to relax and laugh, watch something funny, and just enjoy life. I mean, we only get this life, and we're not going to just like stress out about it and live in fear.
Yeah, and learn to love life again.
Yes.
Amen.
Just
Amen.
get out there and love life.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Well, y'all sure do. You guys
We try.
You guys are great. I so enjoy your videos. It's so much fun to watch you guys love each other and love spending time together and enjoying your area, and had such a good time with y'all down here. So glad y'all came.
Yes, it was fun. It was great.
But look,
we had such a great time with you and your son.
I'm glad
Oh my
y'all did.
goodness.
Your wife is so sweet.
And
Thank
your
you.
wife
She,
and JD and
His
his
wife.
wife.
Yeah, J-Man's
we
awesome.
can come back down again.
Yeah, anytime. And that goes for you two guys too. Y'all ever want to come hang out? We're good for hanging out. But so thank you everybody for showing up tonight. Thank everybody in the chat.
Thank you for having
Tell the
us.
ones you love that you love them.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace
Peace
out.
out.